Welcome back to the Biology by Shravanti. Today we are going to learn about the nutrition. So in general, to carry out our daily activities, a large amount of energy is required. So this energy comes from the food we consume or the food which we eat. So the food is a vital as it provides the energy needed for the growth, repair and other life process. So all this comes under the life process called as nutrition. So let us enter into the topic nutrition. So before going into the topic, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do like, share and subscribe. So let us see what is nutrition. So it is a process of taking in food and converting it into energy and the other vital nutrients required for the life. So simple definition is nothing but nutrition is a process taking in food and converting as a energy which we need for our daily activities. So all the living organisms need nutrition for proper growth and functioning of the body. But some animals feed on simple organic compounds to meet the daily requirements, and while other utilizes complex compounds. So based upon this variation, the mode of nutrition varies from one species to another. So based upon this variation, the nutritions are of two types of nutrition seen in all the living organism. So what are the two types of nutritions? The first one is autotroph and second one is a heterotrophic type of nutrition. So coming for the autotrophs. So autotrophs, that is nothing but auto means self. They can prepare their own food material with the help of the sunlight. So for example, plants, bacteria and some algae, they can prepare their own food material. So such type of organisms are placed under autotrophic organisms. Coming for the heterotrophic organism, these heterotrophic organism are nothing but they depend upon the another organism for food and for shelter. So autotroph means they can prepare their own food material. Heterotroph means they depend upon the another organism for food and shelter. For example, animals and human beings depends on plants for food and shelter. So such type of organisms are called as heterotrophic, or this is about the mode of nutrition. Next, coming in detail with autotrophic, nothing but nutrition in plants. So the nutrition in plants takes place with the help of the photosynthesis. That means we have said plants they can prepare their own food material with the help of the sunlight. So the plants are placed under autotrophs. So let us see how the plants prepare their own food material. So how they prepare with the help of the photosynthesis. So the plants are able to produce their own food through a process called as photosynthesis. So the chloroplast where the photosynthesis is taking place means it is in the chloroplast. The food is a production primarily is carried out in the leaves. That means leaves, inside the leaves the cell organelles like chloroplast is present. Inside the chloroplast chlorophyll pigment is present. So with the help of this chlorophyll pigment, the plant appear green in color and the chloroplast acts as the site for food preparation. Nothing but it is a kitchen of the plant. So where the food is prepared, nothing but site of photosynthesis. And water and minerals from the soil are absorbed by the roots and transported to the leaves through the vessels. So during the photosynthesis, water and carbon dioxide are used in the presence of sunlight to produce carbohydrates and oxygen. So this is the definition of the photosynthesis. Taking in water, taking in carbon dioxide, and in the presence of sunlight, it is converted into carbohydrates and oxygen. Okay. So let us see the definition of the or steps involved the photosynthesis. So first one, absorption of energy from the sunlight. So from the sunlight it starts to absorb the from the sun, it absorbs the sunlight, and this light energy is converted into chemical energy. That is nothing but it takes in carbon dioxide, and with the help of the sunlight and with the help of the water, this carbon dioxide and water get converted into carbohydrates. Hydrolysis of water into oxygen and hydrogen, and carbon dioxide is reduced to form a glucose by utilizing the chemical energy. So here you can see the equation. So 6 carbon dioxide molecules plus 6 water molecules in the presence of sunlight is converted into sugar plus oxygen. So this is nothing but these carbohydrates which are produced are stored inside the plant body. So this is about the photosynthesis. So some of the factors compulsory, they are essential for the photosynthesis. Without these factors, the photosynthesis process does not takes place. So let us see what are the factors which are needed for the photosynthesis. First one, water is essential, air is essential, light is essential, as well as chloroplast or chlorophyll pigment is essential for the photosynthesis. So let us see in detail with each of the topic. So first one, water and photosynthesis. So there is something in the water. There must be something in water where with the help of the water the plant is growing. That means the photosynthesis is taking place. So scientists, after doing many research, they have concluded, and one of the scientists came forward, like von Helmont, started performing an experiment to prove that water is essential for the photosynthesis. So what was his experiment? So von Helmont, he performed 5-year experiment. So he took a willow tree and a pot. So he weighed the willow tree separately and the pot separately. Okay, so he took a willow tree and one pot with the soil. So he weighed both of them separately, and after weighing, he placed the willow tree into the pot, and he watered the pot up for 5 years. For 5 years. At the end of his experiment, Helmont concluded that growth of tree was the result of the nutrients it had received from the water but not from the soil. So after 5 years, he did, after 5 years he took out the plant and he weighed again the plant and again the soil. So the difference has come forward. The plant mass of the plant has been increased. So finally he said that the water which is responsible for the growth of the plant. So this was the von Helmont experiment. Next, coming for the air. So another scientist came forward, John Priestley. He said something is there in the air. So for that, to prove that, so he started an experiment. So his experiment include placing a lit candle inside the glass jar. The flame quickly went off. The next, he placed the mice in the jar. So these mice also expired. It also dead. After that, he placed the mint leaf with the mice, or mint pot plant, and one mice and one candle. But all mice was alive. So finally he said that Priestley concluded that the air inside the jar had been injured. He conducted similar experiment with the mice and concluded that the mice had also injured the air. Priestley later discovered that plants could be used in the restore air that was injured by the candle and mice. Although the Priestley did not know it at the time, and his experiment proved that air contains the oxygen. That is because the oxygen is released from the mint plant, and the carbon dioxide which is coming from the candle and from the maize is taken by the mint plant, and the mint plant in turn giving the oxygen such that the maize was alive. So this was the experiment, and he proved that air is necessary for the photosynthesis. Next, coming for the light. So light is also compulsory, is necessary for the photosynthesis. So another scientist, Ingenhousz, placed or performed an experiment on light. So he placed a submerged plant in sunlight and then in the shade. First he took a submerged plant and he placed in the sunlight, then in the shade. You can see the experiment setup here. So this setup was placed in the sunlight, and after some times he placed in the shade. He noticed that the small bubbles were produced by the plant when it was placed in the sunlight, but same setup when he placed in the shade place, there was no bubble produced. So finally he concluded that plant use light to produce the oxygen. So this was the experiment proven by the Ingenhousz, that light is necessary for the photosynthesis. So, and also the plants need carbon dioxide. So in the year 1796, John Seneberg, a Swiss botanist, Pasteur, and naturalist demonstrated that plants absorb carbon dioxide and releases the oxygen with the help of the sunlight. So finally he said that the carbon dioxide is necessary for release of oxygen, and this whole process takes place in the presence of sunlight. So in this way also plants need carbon dioxide. So this is about the topic, and next we'll see chloroplast and photosynthesis in next video. Thank you. If you like, please like, share and subscribe to my channel.